Afternoon, this is Rob from Zhan Martial Arts Club based in Birmingham, Solihull. So, okay, question I'm always asked, okay, how is Tai Chi good for you? Because we're always told, yeah, Tai Chi does this, it lowers the blood pressure, yeah, it's good for your joints, it's good for your stress levels, all these things. And yeah, okay, it's fine it being told that things are good for us, but we don't always, you know, you'll see people, you know, you might see people doing these really sort of slow movements, moving around really slow, and think, well, okay, it looks kind of interesting, but how's that going to be healthy for me? Okay, so I want to try and explain it kind of simply. Okay, so Tai Chi is based around, it is actually a martial art, which a lot of people don't understand, but it is a martial art. But it depends on, it's a lot to do with posture. Okay, the posture is really important with Tai Chi. Okay, so with it, we're always, with the yin and yang elements, we're not getting too technical. We have the elements of rising and sinking, the two opposites. Okay, so the head is raised, okay, and always you're trying to sink your body weight down into the floor. Okay, so what this has a thing of doing is elongating the spine and stretching the body out. Okay, so, well, so what? What does this matter? Okay, one of the big things we've got in our general course of life is our posture is poor. Okay. So, you know, we might be driving to work, and I'm slumped down in my chair, and I'm there, and I'm changing gear, I'm like this, back all pushed out and slumped, and shoulders all over the place. Then I might get out of my car, and I might sit on my computer and start tapping away for a few hours, sat in this position. Okay, so all the time, bad posture. We get out, we come home from work, kick our shoes off. Yeah, we're going to sit down and watch a bit of footy or whatever. We're slumped into our chair. So it's like, I'm not saying everyone does that, but we all typically have poor posture, because that's just the way we are. We do typically have poor posture. And if we've got certain jobs, you know, like, you know, if you've got like a manual job, you might be at a factory doing a certain manual thing, which is repetitive. You're going to put sort of strain on the joints, because you're always tensing that joint up. Or you may be a bricklayer, and you get the brick, okay, tensing the shoulder out, they're only tensing the shoulder out again. It's all repetitive strain injuries. These are really common things. I've had steroid injections in both shoulders. I have. Okay, and since I've done, and that was due to doing martial arts before and doing weights, and now since I've been doing Tai Chi, I haven't had any, because of the way I train in Tai Chi. Okay, so we're always hunching up. We're doing this. Our posture's not too great. You know, we're cleaning our teeth. We're doing the kids, whatever it is. Whatever we're doing, it's kind of causing problems with our posture. So, Tai Chi, typically, we have a lot of opening movements. So, for instance, with the warm-up exercises and Qigong, we've got this. So what's this doing? We're stretching the back and we're opening up. Now, we never perform this type of movement in general course of life. Again, we do this sort of movement. Okay, so here I'm stretching up. I'm going to stand back a little bit here, but I'm stretching up and pushing down. Again, I'm elongating the spine, but I'm not loading these shoulders out when I do it. It's all done with softness. And again, the form. Okay, now the form, you never stretch anything to its max. So this is wrong. Okay, it has to be relaxed in. It's never pushed right out, because you'll damage the joints. And also martially, there's no benefit in having your joint out, because it's tight and tense and slow. If it's nice and relaxed, you can move nice and quick, because there's looseness in the joints and also sensitivity. So I'm not going to get on that one, but these are the reason Tai Chi is soft is not so we have lovely, beautiful joints. Okay, It's so that martially it works. It's again, people in feudal China didn't do Tai Chi so that they could be less stressed, or so that they could bend and pick things up, or when they get older they didn't fall over, or they could look cool in front of the pals because maybe it's looked upon as, you know, oh, I could do Tai Chi. They did it to survive. Feudal China was a very violent place, very violent, so that it was practiced to basically keep yourself alive and safe. Okay, so that's the martial side of it. But one of the benefits of it is that because of the way, the posture of it and the slowness of the actual form, it's got tremendous health benefits. You know, if you was to block someone at this speed, the only place you're going to end up is in hospital. Because Tai Chi is slow, but Tai Chi as a self-defence is not slow. So anyway, I'll digress a little bit anyway, but it does get my goat a little bit when people don't recognise it as a martial art. So anyway, so we're going back onto our general sort of fitness. Now, health-wise, fitness and health are two different things, okay? So they run down the same path, okay? They run down the same path because they're kind of the same, but they're not the same. You could get like the Thai boxers in Thailand and places like, I'm not about the Thai boxers here, Thai boxers in Thailand, okay, super fit, okay, they can train many rounds, they can train for many rounds, they highly fit, but they're not healthy because a lot of the training is condition training. So what they'll do, they'll tend to use they'll even kick trees. They usually kick trees with the shins to get the shins that hard. So at the time they look good, they look fit, they'll be able to cardiovascularly great. But like when they're 35, 40, they've got like rheumatism, they've got internal damage. So this is what I'm saying. Fitness doesn't always mean health. Okay. Health, from a Taoist sort of perspective, traditional Chinese medicine, is kind of like preventative. It means that when you're older, you can live, you know, in your 80s and 90s, if you get there, hopefully we do, you can get there, and you can live well. They call it the, you know, like the Taoist art, because you keep on going. They call it they're immortal. They're not immortal. It just means that their quality of life keeps on going and going and going. And that's the idea of Tai Chi. So the health benefits are that, and also you do get the physical benefits. If you say go running, it's high impact on your knees, so you're pounding them knees out. Okay, and if you say, for instance, you play tennis, okay, your tennis stroke, again, it's high. The impact is the tension is in that shoulder all the time, and you go like that, and the tension's there, and you go like, and the tension's there. So, and then you stop to get the ball, and you jar on the leg. So, I'm not saying any of these sports are bad, but in the long term, you'll often get like joggers with bad knees. You'll get people with tennis elbow. You'll get golfers with bad backs. I play golf. My back hurts after I play golf. I love golf, but you know, I wouldn't say. I'd say walking round is great, but I wouldn't say long term it's particularly great for my actual posture and my general health. So I'm just showing you the Tai Chi movements, say like on the basic sort of warm-up exercises. There's a lot of expanding, I'll move back a little bit, there's a lot of expanding type movements. Okay, so you're stretching out. What's happening is, I'm trying to push my weight down into the floor, but also up to the sky, but also keeping my shoulders relaxed. Again, on these sort of things. Okay. It's my whole body's working it. My actual arms are actually quite there, are quite static. And even there, my arms are static. It's my body working it round. So my shoulders are relaxed because I'm not going like that. It's my actual body that's moving it round. Okay. But I'm sinking, I'm elongating my spine because I'm sinking my weight down and pushing my force upwards. So it counteracts all this hunched over business we've got. We're nice and straight and we're stretching out. Where are we going to do that in normal life, where we're stretching our body, moving it back out. The yin and yang, the opposites, moving in different directions, making sure that we're not always doing the same thing, not always in the same position, stretching our joints out. because that's what it is, isn't it? When we're 8, we've done something all day and then we feel absolutely terrible. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I haven't rambled on too much. I hope that makes sense. And it's just, and this is just purely from kind of like the physical side of Tai Chi. You've obviously got the mental side where the kind of the meditation side of it, the moving meditation, the slowness, and the kind of the concentration. You're moving into the realms of mindfulness, which has got a big buzzword at the moment. Mindfulness at the moment is a big thing, and it's basically focusing the mind and concentrating. Instead of us, our minds are buzzing around all the time. We're thinking on this, thinking about that, what we're having tomorrow, where we're going on holiday. They said this, that Facebook comments, all this sort of bullshit that goes on in life. Not very often do we just concentrate and focus our mind on one thing. And actually, that's the flip side, the holistic side of it, where you've got the whole thing. You've got the physical side of Tai Chi, and then you've got the mental side of Tai Chi, where you do the form, and it's a kind of moving meditation. So obviously, and this reduces stress, and stress is a massive thing on our health. That's not the physical side. Stress causes other things, doesn't it? Hypertension and things like that. So maybe maybe I can talk about that another time, a little bit more depth. But I hope that gives you a general idea of why it's a great idea to be copying our fellow brothers in China, getting up, doing our nice, slow, graceful movements. Not hurting the joints, not hurting the shoulders, back, stretching out and feeling great. So anyway, have a lovely day, and if you want to come along to the class, Zhan Martial Arts, Solihull, you're more than welcome. Cheers, have a lovely day.